mFinity eMMP by mFrontiers is an enterprise mobility management platform. To introduce you to mFinity, I'll begin with an overview of problems in the field of enterprise mobility management. This will provide a context for me to describe the benefits of an mFinity solution. Then I'll demonstrate the features of mFinity, followed by a brief summary. The big challenge to enterprise mobility is how to support an ever-changing array of mobile devices and operating systems. While there are many mobile device and application management tools available, the distinction between MDM and MAM is becoming blurry, and too often, so-called cross-platform mobility development tools are long on the learning curve and short on results. While it's possible for an organization to build its enterprise mobility management using multiple vendors, only when all the technology comes from one vendor and maintains best IT practices while being driven by user requirements, can it rightfully be called an enterprise mobility management platform. In the bring-your-own-device world of enterprise mobility, requirements often have been driven from the users up rather than from the enterprise down, and as a result, best IT practices have suffered. The mFinity Enterprise Mobility Management Platform, eMMP, is built upon the mobility products of Oracle, and as such, it builds upon that company's legacy of best IT practices. mFinity adds mobile device and mobile application management to the Oracle Mobile Suite, and more. mFinity provides unmatched levels of integrity for mobile data through integration with Oracle Database Mobile Server on both the host and mobile device. mFinity simplifies administration and increases user productivity through role-based provisioning and application deployment. mFinity also increases user productivity by providing application access to enterprise data even when no network connection is available. Together with Oracle products, mFinity provides a complete end-to-end Oracle-based mobility solution that aligns enterprise mobile strategy with best IT practices. So what is the architecture of mFinity? mFinity has two components. The server side of mFinity is an administrative console that runs under Oracle WebLogic Server 12c and is integrated with Oracle Database Mobile Server 11g. The mobile device component of mFinity is a smart container box for mobile apps and data that's integrated with the Database Mobile Server Sync Agent and uses Oracle Berkeley DB or SQLite for the mobile database. mFinity is a unique enterprise mobility solution that provides full mobile device, application, and data management, unmatched ease of use and flexibility with role-based rather than catalog-based deployment of apps, unmatched data integrity by leveraging the strengths of Oracle Database Mobile Server, increased user productivity through applications that have offline access to mobile data, and single source code solutions that increase developer productivity and simplify application development. No other mobile application management platform provides all of these features and benefits, and one of these features is critically important to most enterprises. Integrity is not an option for enterprise data, it's a requirement. Through integration with Database Mobile Server on both the host and the mobile device, mFinity simplifies data mapping between the host and mobile databases and provides the highest level of integrity for mobile data. This reduces both user errors and management overhead. Later I'll describe in detail how this works. Now, what are the key features of mFinity? mFinity simplifies management through an administrative console that provides complete mobile device and mobile application management with role-based deployment of apps, management of Datagate, which I will explain later, and access to usage and performance metrics for operation of the mobile environment. You'll see the administrative console in action during the demonstration. Datagate is the server-side assignment of database aliases that are used by developers. With Datagate, only database aliases are stored on the mobile device. Since real database identification is never used in the database connection streams, this provides an additional layer of data security for the mobile environment. Earlier I mentioned that mFinity on the mobile device is a smart app container box. You may have heard other vendors referring to their secure container box, which isolates business applications and data from personal apps and data. mFinity provides such security and more. With a single login to the mFinity Smart Container Box, the user has access to all the business apps assigned to their role within the organization. These apps can share data and parameters and will always be fully updated when the user logs in. I mentioned earlier that data integrity is not an option for enterprise data, it's a requirement. And that's good because mFinity provides the highest available level of data integrity for mobile applications. With mFinity, synchronization between the host and mobile databases is done by the Smart Container Box, not by individual applications, which is the way it's done by other vendors. The mFinity Smart Container Box is integrated with the Oracle Database Mobile Server Sync Agent. This means that mFinity provides unparalleled data integrity for mobile applications, consistent with best IT practices. The other area in which mFinity provides unparalleled simplicity is in data mapping between the host and mobile databases. With mFinity, all you do is select the application, the database, and the tables. You're done. It's that easy, with faster setup and fewer errors. I'll show you data mapping as a part of the demonstration. Now there's one more very important reason why the mFinity Container Box is smart in addition to being a secure app container box. In addition to isolating business and personal apps and data, the mFinity Smart Container Box provides developers with a single target for app development. With mFinity, the same source code will run on all iOS and Android smartphones and tablets and still provide access to native functionality on the mobile devices, such as GPS, audio, camera, video, and local database access. The mFinity platform gives web apps the functionality of native apps. This eliminates the need to write native applications to access native device functionality. With mFinity, this means faster development and simplified maintenance. One application of native functionality is geofencing. Geofencing is a way to use the mobile device's built-in GPS or geolocation services to define a geographic boundary and restrict authorization for an application to within that geographic boundary. This provides an added layer of security for apps and data. And with mFinity, you don't need to write native code to give your applications geofencing. And importantly, with mFinity, developers can continue to use their development tools of preference. There's no need to learn a new set of development tools to access the full power of mFinity. And mFinity will support existing web apps, native apps, and hybrid apps through role-based deployment. So with mFinity, developers can focus on business requirements rather than reacting to changes in mobile device and operating system technology. The result for developers is that mFinity provides a rapid application development environment with complete separation of the mobile client control and the business application logic. mFinity provides easy access to device sensor functions independent of the device type or operating system. This greatly simplifies app development and maintenance and increases developer productivity. Now let's get back to the topic of best IT practices and data integrity. For applications that require access to mobile data, synchronization must be performed between the host and mobile databases. It becomes more complicated when there are multiple concurrent users, and in particular when there's offline access to data. There are two ways to perform this database synchronization, at the application level or the database level. At the application level, developers write code in each application to perform data synchronization. This is the most common way to perform such synchronization. The problem is that when you have synchronization being performed in multiple applications using code written by multiple developers, there's an increasing possibility of errors and inconsistencies. When database synchronization is performed at the database level, the application simply reads from and writes to the mobile database. Developers are not required to write code to perform database synchronization. This is how synchronization is performed for applications written for mFinity. The mFinity Smart Container Box is integrated with the Oracle Database Mobile Server Sync Agent. Synchronization is performed by Oracle Database Mobile Server running on the server side and the device side. Synchronization can be done automatically or manually depending upon the needs of the application. With mFinity, application developers don't need to write code to perform database synchronization. This increases their productivity. With data synchronization performed by Oracle Database Mobile Server, consistent enforcement of IT policies is ensured. It's very important to understand that everybody else synchronizes their data at the application level. That's why, for applications that access mobile data, mFinity provides the highest available level of data integrity. Now that I've given you an overview of mFinity, I'm going to give you a demonstration. I will begin with role-based deployment, then I'll show you database synchronization, followed by database mapping. Role-based deployment is a key distinction that separates mFinity from other mobile device and mobile application management software. I'm going to demonstrate role-based deployment by bringing up not only the administrative console, but a mirror image of my mobile device, so I can show you real time how changes are affected on my device. Let's begin by assuming that I'm a new employee. My new title is Sales Associate. I'm going to look myself up here, and there I am as a Sales Associate. What I'm going to do is click on Device, and it shows that I do not yet have a device that's registered with the system. That's because I've been granted a user ID and password, but I have not yet logged in. And before I can log in, I need an authentication code or certification key. The administrator generates that by clicking on New, and then I have a certification key that they provide to me. I log into the system, and what I do is see that authentication is required. User authentication is required. So what I do is I key in the company code, which I've been told is 10, and then there's this certification key, VWIKG. VWIKG. I will enter that code, and now I am authenticated. I'm registered with the system. I have access to 2 applications that are granted to the role of Sales Associate. Now the administrator just needs to click on refresh to then display information on my mobile device. Now what if I misplaced my mobile device? Say I left it at home or left it in the car. I didn't lose it or it wasn't stolen. I just temporarily misplaced it. I could tell the administrator to please block access to my device, and immediately I am kicked out, or my phone would be kicked out if anyone else tried to log into it using my password and ID. If they would happen to have obtained it in some way, well, they couldn't get in because it is a suspended device. Now, if I then found the device and said I need access, I've got it back because I just have them click on allow, and now I can go back into my applications. It's that simple. Now let's look at how easy it is to change roles within the organization. Let's assume that I've been promoted to sales representative. If we go into role group and click on Sales Associate, you will see me as a Sales Associate. I'm going to remove myself from this group, moving myself from group user to unassigned. Now I am unassigned. I will save that, and immediately I'm kicked out of the applications. That's a real-time change. If I'm removed from a role group, then I'm immediately denied access to those roles. Now let's put me into the sales representative group. There I am. I will move myself from unassigned into this group of users. I will then save, and the first time I log in, I will have access to new applications. I now have access to 4 applications, 2 applications in addition to what I had as a sales associate. It's important to understand that I did not have to log into an enterprise catalog and manually install these applications. All I did was log in, say the next day, and I have access to those new apps. No time was lost to manually installing applications. I just changed roles and I'm ready to go, fully productive. Now let's look at how easy it is to add an additional application. Once again, we are in privilege management. We are in the sales representative category. Let's go down and let's add another application. And I will add this SWK application demo. I will save that change. Once I exit the application, the next time I go in, I will find that I have access to a new application. So what I've shown you is how easy it is to gain access to new applications, either by changing roles within the organization or having a new app deployed to all the members of a specific permission group or role category. And that's how mFinity increases productivity through role-based deployment of apps. With mFinity, synchronization between the host and mobile databases is performed by Oracle Database Mobile Server running on both the host and the mobile device. I'm now going to demonstrate for you offline access to mobile data with database synchronization using mFinity, and in fact a real-world example of an mFinity success story. To do so, I'm going to show you a view of my mobile device, and first, this is a view of host data. I will show you that there are 43 records here, and what we're going to be doing is accessing the application. The application is one that we developed for Safe Water Kenya, a non-governmental organization based in the United States that sends water filtration systems for installation throughout Kenya at homes, hospitals, community centers. What they do is, after they do the installation, they send out a surveyor who gathers information on the installation in terms of where the installation was done, who are benefiting from it. They take a picture of the people. Previously, they would do this manually, captured on paper, and send the whole package back to Safe Water Kenya, where it would go into a binder, and little else was done with the information since accessing the data was difficult. Now they use an Android tablet in Kenya. The problem is that most of the installation locations do not have wireless access or network communication, so what they do is they work on an offline basis, capturing data offline on a mobile database. That is what I'm going to demonstrate. And to do so, we will go into the application. I am going to first go into airplane mode. So let's go into airplane mode. And now when I go into the application, I will do so in an offline mode. I clicked offline. That means the application is not even going to be trying to access the network. It just knows it's not there. Why try? So let's notice that we only have access to 2 applications. These are the only 2 applications that are enabled for offline data access. So let's click on the Safe Water Kenya demo, and let's go in. And I'm going to click on the date. There are several pages here. I'm only going to do a couple of the pages. For the name of the installer, I will say it is Tuesday, and the zip tie or serial filter number, I will just create a serial number. I will click on GPS to give us a location. We'll say it's a house. I will then go to the next screen, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to capture an image. Since I don't have a family, what I'm going to do, a family here to photograph, I'm just going to capture a selfie. Okay, now I've got my selfie. And what we're going to do is we're going to complete not all of the pages, but just a couple more of the pages. I will go to the next page, keep on scrolling down. And finally, I'll get to the last. I like to do this, the customer signature. I will just create a page with my initials that is saved. And now I will click on submit. Now it's important to understand that I said submit, but I didn't submit anything yet, because if we look over here and we refresh, there are still only 43 records. It's not until I exit. It shows here that I'm in airplane mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit the application. Let's assume that I've gone back to my office and I now have access to the network. So I'm going to pop out of airplane mode. And now I go back into the application, and I will then perform, not offline mode, this is just regular mode. I will go back in and I will perform a database synchronization. This is a manual synchronization for purposes of this demo. Let's click on DB Sync. I am now synchronizing. I'm uploading my selfie and my signature. It is now done. I will access the application, and if I was the surveyor in Kenya, I could go home. But now let's go to Safe Water Kenya. We had 43 records here. Let's now click and refresh the screen. We now have 44 records. I will click on Tuesday, which I entered, and let's take a look at my selfie. Yes, there's the selfie. Isn't he happy? Because he just uploaded his data to his headquarters. Now let's look at a real-world example. When I say a real-world example, someone actually in Kenya. Here's a woman who's benefiting from this filtration system. We'll click on the GPS location and it brings up a map. It says that she's located on Yimbo Road in Kenya. So let's back this out so we can get a better idea where she's at. There we go. Somewhere on the border with Uganda. So that's a demonstration of offline access to mobile data and database update with mFinity. With mFinity, database mapping between the host and mobile databases is facilitated by Oracle Database Mobile Server running on both the host and mobile devices. I'm now going to show you how easy it is to do database mapping with mFinity. To do so, I'm going to bring up a mirror image of my mobile device and the administrator console. Now, to begin, let's go into mFinity and let's access a mobile application that requires a local database. I'm going to first do a manual database synchronization. So normally this would give us access to the database required by the mobile app. But when I click on this demonstration, it says database is not found. And the reason it says database is not found is that I have not done the mapping between the host and the mobile database. What I want to show you is how easy that is done. To do so, let's go into the administrative console and click on Application Deployment. I will click on Web App and then find the India Railway demo. I will then set mapping. And all I do is select the database, the owner of the database, and the tables for which I want mobile access. I will now save. Now this process of mapping between the host and mobile databases is often quite complex. If you've done this type of mapping before, you know that it's not nearly as easy as I've shown you with mFinity. Now we're going to go into the application. Previously, after I synchronized the host and mobile databases, I still could not access the local database simply because it had not been mapped. So what I've now done is performed the mapping. Now when I go into the railway demo, but first I will do a manual synchronization so you can see the synchronization being done. Let's now go into the application and see what happens. This time we have a database. This is the interior of a rail car in India. I will click on car number 1 and it shows that the white seats are empty, the yellow seats are reserved, the green seats actually have someone sitting in them. They have checked in. So what I've shown you is how easy it is to do mapping between the host and mobile databases with mFinity. It just doesn't get any easier than that. That completes the demonstration. Now that I've shown you the power of an mFinity mobility solution, let's recap the challenges to enterprise mobility that I described to begin the presentation. How does mFinity address each of these challenges? In the bring your own device world of enterprise mobility, the mFinity platform allows web apps to access native functionality and run on all iOS and Android smartphones and tablets. This simplifies app development and maintenance and allows developers to focus on business requirements rather than reacting to changes in mobile technology. In a world of many vendors of mobile device management and mobile application management, mFinity provides both MDM and MAM and is unique in its role-based deployment, which is consistent with best business practices. mFinity eliminates the need to learn new development tools to support a diverse environment of mobile devices and operating systems. With mFinity, developers can use the application tools with which they are most comfortable and productive. Regarding best IT practices, mFinity is the only mobility platform that provides database-level synchronization between host and mobile data. This means that mFinity provides the highest level of integrity for mobile data, consistent with best IT practices. To summarize my message today, if data integrity matters most to an organization, this makes mFinity the mobility platform of choice. mFinity improves productivity of administrators and users through role-based deployment, consistent with best business practices. It improves productivity of developers through a smart app container box that supports single source code solutions that run on all iOS and Android smartphones and tablets. So that's how the mFinity Enterprise Mobility Management Platform provides a complete end-to-end Oracle-based mobility solution that brings enterprise discipline to enterprise mobility and aligns enterprise mobile strategy with best IT practices. No other mobility product can make that claim. If you have questions or would like to receive information on mFinity, here's our contact information. Thank you.